What's up, everybody? Baby Huey here for 107.7 The Bone, and WWE is coming back for two shows. You got WWE Road to WrestleMania. That's going to be at the Oakland Arena in Oakland on Saturday, February 17th. And also WWE Monday Night Raw will be at the SAP Center in San Jose on Monday, February 26th. And tickets for both shows are on sale now over at Ticketmaster.com. And joining me to talk all about it is WWE Superstar LA Knight. How's it going, man?
Oh, man, it is going, and we're talking about SmackDown, we're talking about LA Knight, then we got a lot to talk about, so let me talk to you.
Awesome, man. Dude, I'm so excited to be talking to you. Man, what a year plus you've had in WWE 2023 and now going into 2024. So you become one of the top guys in the company as far as, just crowd reactions and merch sales. Have you had a time to just kind of just sit back and just reflect and just take in what you've been going through?
Occasionally, I might sit back and just be like, "Oh yeah, things are going all right now." But for the most part, I try not to sit in that too long because I don't want to rest. I still got lots of work to do. I still got lots of space to make up and real estate to take up. So yes, a little bit, but I don't have time to celebrate enough right now.
Gotcha. Well, listen, over the last few months, we've seen you been feuding with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. And, we've seen you from your one-on-one match with the Tribal Chief at Crown Jewel to the Fatal 4-Way for the title at the Royal Rumble. That's an intimidating challenge to be going up against the top guy in the company. You didn't seem phased. Oh. You seem to really present yourself as a bigger...
You completely surprised and confused me there. I thought you were going to say it was a really intimidating challenge for Roman Reigns. Yeah, look, I look at it like this. You look at 12 to 18 months ago and where I was and what I was doing, and now you're talking about having my second WWE Championship match in maybe a few months. That is a huge testament to the fact that, I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to give up. I don't know how to stop. Even from the sense of being put into a position where it's like, all right, well, this guy can go out here and do whatever, and he can at least, make some other guys look good. Well, yeah, maybe I can, but at the same time, I made myself a whole lot of noise. I made a lot of noise to where a lot of people had to look and say, hey, wait a minute, this LA Knight guy, he's pretty good. I think we kind of like him. And so things have changed a lot, and I've just kind of willed a lot of stuff into existence that was not there just a year ago.
Exactly. Well, let's look at the Fatal 4-Way at the Royal Rumble. You're in the ring with Roman Reigns, like I said, the Tribal Chief, top guy of the company. Also, Randy Orton, one of the all-time greats, and AJ Styles, arguably one of the best pro wrestlers of this generation. And for yourself, I know you've been in the business 20-plus years, but as far as WWE fans, we've only really seen you on the main roster a little over a year.
Right.
How were you mentally in that situation? I mean, for me, I'm just kind of guessing, was any form of maybe like imposter syndrome, or how were you able to take on that challenge being around some of these all-time greats?
Oh, wow. It's funny that you bring that up. In a weird way, it's just, I'm still just doing the same job that I always have been doing. You kind of just stay ready in that sense that whether you're in front of 20 people or 20,000 people, at the end of the day, you're doing the same job. But there is a little bit of that at the very beginning when things all of a sudden start taking off at such a rapid pace where it's almost like, wait a minute, things have changed. So I'm also used to being on the outside looking in, where I'm not used to people kind of welcoming me, so to speak. So I'm used to kind of being on the defense and kind of fighting and whatnot. And so to kind of feel like, all right, maybe there's a little bit of support here. It really hit me kind of wrong to where there maybe was something that maybe resembled almost an imposter syndrome for a moment where I'm like, something just feels off and wrong and not right here. But I would say that any little bit of that would have been erased by the time we got to the Royal Rumble, because a lot of people were saying and pointing out, and look, I haven't even watched the thing back yet, but I was there and I experienced it. A lot of people were saying that was my match. And if that's the case, if that's not the case, I don't know. But I would say I came in, I showed up, I showed out, and I shined at the Royal Rumble. Now, I didn't come out with the result that I would have liked to have had, but at the same time, I think you're talking about a guy who has proven the fact, not just do I belong here, but I think if you want to look at as far as being one of the top guys, I would say that is the damnedest of truths. If it's not the truth that maybe I am the top guy and it just hasn't been quite, it hasn't quite come to fruition yet, but it's on its way.
Exactly. Well, I'm rooting for you, and I know the WWE Universe is rooting for you. But recently, though, at a live event, you were talking to the crowd, and you mentioned you want to go after a championship this year. You want to get one this year. Is there specifically any championship you have in mind? Is it the WWE title? Is it the World Heavyweight title, U.S. title, IC? Is there any specific title that you want to go after?
For me, again, I never got into this to be a background player. I want to be the guy. And in order to do that, I need to be the champion. I need to be the WWE champion, the guy. And right now, I feel like Roman Reigns is holding that role. Some could say Seth Rollins, but I look at that streak that Roman Reigns is on and he's holding, and I want that. Now, am I opposed to on the way there doing it the old way of, man, get that U.S. championship or get the Intercontinental Championship as a proving ground, as a stepping stone to getting there? Look, man, I told everybody from day one, I'm coming in for gold. Nobody's going to stop me from that. So if that means U.S. title on the way, Intercontinental Championship on the way, or whatever, hey, man, I'm game for it. But at the end of the day, I'm looking for that top spot.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of the U.S. title, and listen, I follow a lot of wrestling podcasts out there and just other personalities. And a lot of people this time of the year doing fantasy booking, what they want to see at WrestleMania 40 this year. And your name is brought up. And a lot of people are just wondering or would like to see you potentially against Logan Paul for that U.S. title. You guys did have that great back and forth for a couple weeks leading up to Money in the Bank last summer. Is the U.S. title and Logan Paul something you would be okay going for at WrestleMania?
Well, I'll tell you what, if it presents itself and that's a thing, yeah, maybe. I mean, look, at WrestleMania at this point, as far as the WWE Universal Undisputed Championship, that's already been determined, right? So it's not going to be me and Roman Reigns, whether it's The Rock or Cody or whomever, whatever it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be Rock and Roman Reigns at this point. It's not me. So with that being the case, am I open to another opportunity on the way to claiming my throne at some point? Absolutely. So we'll see. I mean, will I cross paths with Logan Paul? I don't know. Will I cross paths with Gunther? I don't know. Will I cross paths with Seth Rollins? I don't know. But at some point, one way or another, I'm coming out with gold. And again, I'm looking for that top spot because I can't be in any other spot.
Great. So, hey, you just mentioned The Rock right there. And you know, we've seen him a couple times, one point last year and a couple times this year on Raw last month and this past Friday on SmackDown. And I know you guys have a little history. You're on his reality show a little over 10 years ago. Have you had a chance to interact with The Rock yet and talk with him?
I mean, a little bit here and there. When he popped up at SmackDown back in Denver a few months ago, it was just kind of the bro handshake and hug and just, hey, man, I haven't seen you in a while. You're kicking ass, all that kind of stuff. But nothing long for him. It was kind of while he was straight on his way to the ring. So it was just kind of one of those quick, hey, and got to get on my way kind of thing. So that's about it. Look, you can't deny that he's going to bring eyes. He's going to bring attention to what we're doing. At the same time, it really doesn't make a big bunch of difference to me, whether it's him or Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes or anybody else. If anybody's holding that championship, I'm gunning for him.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it would be curious to see. I was going to ask you about that, but I know in 24 hours, we're going to find out more info at the press conference tomorrow night in Las Vegas. So, for yourself, though, I'm really I've been so fascinated what you've been doing on the main roster. I know a lot of fans see just a lot of your inspirations as far as, you mentioned The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is there any other inspirations that you take from that maybe fans would not know or kind of be like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that was a source of inspiration for who LA Knight is.
Oh, absolutely. But I don't need to let everybody know how the sausage is made. There's plenty of other inspirations inside and outside of wrestling. I mean, obviously, I've told people before, I listen to a lot of hip hop music, always have since I was a kid. So there's a lot of stuff that comes from there. Other pop culture things, again, other things in wrestling. I mean, you're talking about influence from Jake the Snake, Macho Man, Roddy Piper, like even Bobby Heenan, hell, even a little Jim Cornette in there. So I mean, there's other different little inspirations and things where I'm just like, all right, I like this dude's energy. I like the way David Schultz. I know. Can I even say that name after the Stossel incident? But I mean, we're talking 40 years at this point. I think it's okay. I think it's clear. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I even like the way that he would present himself in some of his promos and stuff like that. So I mean, just looking at things like that, yeah, there's lots of different inspirations and things like that I've drawn from, or at least just been like, I like that energy.
Gotcha. Well, hey, you just brought up Schultz, and a couple weeks ago, you guys were doing press in Australia, you and Grayson Waller, and Grayson, while you were just sitting back, chilling on the couch, Grayson got up and got in one of the news people in that morning show in Australia's face, and people see that and kind of compares it to Schultz. And then I think it was you who tweeted out, or maybe it was Grayson, the photo of Vader and Undertaker from years ago. Just kind of care to comment of, what happened in that situation with Grayson Waller.
I think even though Waller was showing it, I think I was a little more peeved than he was, but I just kind of sat there and tried to shut the whole thing down with, no, they asking us to do a move or whatever. And they'd already asked us off camera, and then they asked us on camera, and I had already said no off camera. So now I'm like, all right. And I'm kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. It's, whatever. And then at that point, I'm just like, oh, what do you got to say about this? And then, because I knew I just wasn't going to say anything else at that point. So I just sat there quiet, just kind of like, all right, whatever. And he's doing his thing, and I'm just kind of shrugging off at that point. So, yeah, I mean, I looked at that Vader and Undertaker thing, and I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm definitely in the Undertaker role right there. Where I'm like, do your thing.
Yeah, all right. Well, listen, I know we're running out of time here. Real quick, I just want to ask you, LA, just, unfortunately, Bray Wyatt is no longer with us. You were the last person to have a feud, a storyline with. What does that mean to you, and what did you learn from your time working with Bray Wyatt?
I mean, a lot of people point that out. I don't really think about it too much, just because it's a weird thing to consider and celebrate, I guess, in a weird way. Because, I wish I wasn't his last match. Yeah. So I think that's really more the way I think about it. But at the same time, that was an experience for me where that was an opportunity. And I don't know that it was looked at as an opportunity in a lot of ways. I think it was just thought of as, here's a guy who can handle himself in this situation and help to put the spotlight on Bray and bring him back, as I did. But at the same time, man, did I shine a light on myself as much as I could. If they gave me 30 seconds, if they gave me 2 minutes, no matter how much time I had on that TV screen, my God, was I going to make a splash? My God, was I going to make a loud noise? And that's exactly what I did. So, I mean, in that sense, I'm very grateful for that. But I'm also, if I can toot my own horn, I guess I'm grateful for myself in a certain sense of just being able to take advantage of that opportunity, because I think a lot of times people get the opportunity to sink or swim. A lot of times they sink, and I'll be damned if I wasn't paddling for my life in that scenario to make sure that I could go ahead and build a foundation for myself. So again, incredibly grateful for the situation. I wish it wasn't his last match. I wish he was still around today. But I think that helped to put me on this map.
Gotcha. Real quick, LA, before I forget, in your feud with Roman Reigns, there was that great camera shot of you staring at Roman Reigns, the cameraman up close shot. You see Roman Reigns' reflection on your sunglasses. Did you know that was happening in real time? Was that planned?
No, not even a clue. Even when I saw him show up I saw those pictures show up on like Instagram, I thought it might have been Photoshopped. And then I started seeing it show up everywhere. I'm like, wow, that's some wild camera work right there. So no, that was just a happy accident. That just happened to work out really, really well. And then a lot of other memes came out of it as well, where they're putting other things that I'm looking at in the glasses and stuff. So kind of cool. The internet always wins.
Absolutely. Well, listen, LA Knight, dude, so excited to be talking to you. Thank you so much for the time. So encourage everyone, go get your tickets for WWE Road to WrestleMania. Oakland Arena on February 17th. Raw will be at the SAP Center Monday, February 26th. LA, I plan on going to Philadelphia to be part of the press and the media for WrestleMania. So hopefully we get to continue this conversation in person. Thank you.
Let's do it. You come and find me, all right?
I will, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.